And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. I am he, and we are back. Oh, you know what? I put us up on Instagram, Lori. Why didn't you remind me? All right. Now we are streaming live and direct on Instagram. Got to hit the button. As well as X, formerly known as Twitter. We are also streaming live and direct on LinkedIn, Facebook Live, as well as YouTube and Roku TV, as well as Amazon Fire TV. Make sure that you go to any of those platforms. But if you're on YouTube, please like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. If you're watching us on any other feeds, like I just see somebody popping up on Instagram. What's going on, Big John? Please make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Even if you're on Facebook, just share the feed and let people know what you're watching, and let us grow this thing. So without further ado, let's say hello to our columnists. We'll make sure that they silence their phones. That would be, yep.
Sorry.
All right. Let's say hello to Lori Parker. How you doing, Lori?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
What's happening?
What's up? The reason why you forgot to hit he was
Lori,
in a move.
Lori, your voice went out for a second, but it came back. I don't know what happened there. And then let's also say hello to the host of Elephant Exposed, Mr. TNTBS himself, Mr. CJ Jones. How you doing, sir?
Greetings and salutations, my brother and sister.
Assalamu alaikum. Happy Black History Month to all of you Black folks that were complaining about only having 28 days. Guess what? We gave you an extra day this year, so there you go.
Woohoo!
I will say though,
Wow.
just because something is designated, I would even say that when somebody says, Valentine's Day, which is February 14th, I believe. I think it is. Is that right, Lord?
14.
14th February?
It is.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
just checking. People say, well, man, you don't have to wait till Valentine's Day to do this and this and this and this and this. That's absolutely right. And you don't have to wait till February to celebrate Black History Month. Black history is 365 days of the year.
Say so, bro. Say so.
Because as the commercials say, Black history is American history.
And that is true.
It does happen to be true. It might be a little corny, but it's true. It might be corny, but it's true.
Yeah. I just posted that too.
Oh, you did? Okay, well, cool.
Because I'm black every day.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
And I love me. I celebrate me.
I don't stop being black on March the 1st. Trust me. I ain't Sammy Sosa or Michael Jackson. Somebody just wake up one day and they done had some things happen to them, and yeah, I got a feeling I'm gonna be chocolate till the end. So it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. But please learn your history, everybody. Even in this day and age where folks are vehemently trying to take away our rights to learn our history. Hey, Carrie, joining on Instagram. My girl up in Brooklyn. Don't be hurting them up there too much, Carrie.
Brooklyn Zoo.
Brooklyn in the house. That's right. But yeah, so
I don't know nothing about it. I just
you don't know nothing about Brooklyn?
No, I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm country boy, straight up Charlotte.
You country boy. He said, hey. Well, listen, we come to you guys live and direct every single Thursday at 7 p.m. On all of the streaming platforms, as I mentioned. Oh my goodness. As I mentioned, hold on, Lori, don't do it. We will be on X, Instagram, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as Roku TV and Amazon Fire TV. Who knows what 2024 will hold? Will we get on any more platforms? I'm thinking about those kind of things too. Even thinking about a podcast to go along with the show. May even have the franchise on a couple of times with that so that we can um, have some really deep conversations. Um, anyway, speaking of the franchise, I know, ladies, you have been waiting. Carrie said, yes, Brooklyn is in here. That's my girl. When we come up soon, Carrie, we got the karaoke again. But anyway, Lori knows who that is. For karaoke part. But anyway, I know y'all have been waiting. I know y'all have been wondering, where is the prince? Ladies, I know y'all tune in because you want to see this bald dude with this immaculate beard. And I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you right now. We're going to bring him in. With no further ado, Lori, let's bring in the one, the only, the franchise, Mr. Jermaine Parker. How you doing, sir?
Oh, what's good, family?
What's good? What's good, brother Big? What's good? What
I was just telling Jermaine, man, our viewership is like going straight crazy on Roku. I was showing them some of the analytics just the other day where we've even CJ, we even got people up in Egypt, Bahamas. What was some of the other one? Dominican Republic. I was just like, oh my God, we get some
Mexico.
crazy. Mexico, of course. Yeah, we got
That's
Canada,
crazy.
Alaska. It was just crazy. I'm just sitting there looking at these analytics and going, man, folks are tuning in. So we appreciate that. Y'all keep it growing, keep it going. That's absolutely, that's really how things are going to move. Roku and Amazon Fire TV, 150 million users each. A lot of these folks may have cable as well, but a lot of them don't. Most of their resources come from these streaming platforms, and streaming is really going to be the way, and cable is going to eventually just totally die out. So keep it going with the streaming. We do appreciate that. Make sure you click on the thumbs and the shares and all of that. It definitely helps with our ratings. It helps with the algorithms. That's what's helping even propel us even on YouTube. Where we had over we had over 1,000 views last
Wow.
month. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We hit that, and some crazy amount of hours viewed and all of that stuff that I just wasn't expecting. But you keep doing it, it'll happen. So this is season 4 of this show, and we're also winding down season 4 of Head to Head Sports, which airs on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. with myself, my co-host, Mr. Randall Hargrove, where we break down the comings and goings of the NFL. We've got basically one more show. We've got the After NFL show that will basically bow us out of season 4, but we'll be happy to announce that we've been renewed for season 5 by the executives. At Parker Media have renewed.
Okay, they renewed your contract.
Renewed the contract. So I'm happy to announce that season 5 of Head to Head Sports will premiere. Lori, what did we say was going to be August? We got a cruise that's going to delay it a week, but it's
That's
supposed
correct.
to be
The following week after the cruise.
calendar don't work. Okay.
All
Which is
right.
the fifth.
Yeah, it's August 21st or something like that. Whatever that Wednesday is, it'll be then. So we will be starting back there.
Are y'all doing it big?
Yeah, we're gonna do it big.
Are y'all doing it big? You're not getting my reference, are you?
Say again.
You-
Oh, Lord. I was so removed from Boondock.
I want to do it big.
You gonna do it? Yeah, we're gonna do it big.
We're gonna do it
But
big.
it's gonna be interesting because the first show, because it'll be a week late, instead of covering one division, which we normally do per week, leading up to the opening of the regular season to get back on track. We'll either more than likely start a week early, or if we do start that week late, we'll have to do 8 teams instead of 4. I'm almost of the mind that we start early so that we just do 4 at a time and just have a week in between, and we can get it that way. And that first week will probably coincide more with where the Hall of Fame game is going to fall, and then we'll have a break for the cruise that Lori and I are going on, and then when we come back, then we'll do the next 3 divisions every week in a row, because the season will start. That Sunday will be the 8th, but the season actually starts on that Thursday, the 5th, whoever the Thursday night game is going to be. Got to get with the streaming, because a lot of these Thursday night games, they did all season last year on Amazon. It actually was pretty good. So you're going to start seeing more of this. I just saw where Peacock, Hulu, and some of these other streaming platforms have signed a multi-streaming agreement to show a platitude of games. So a lot of that stuff is going to move to streaming. So if you don't have those apps, I think Max is part of it. So if you have a HBO Max subscription, you'll automatically have access and stuff like that. It won't require you to get additional subscriptions and things like that. So that'll be good. So a lot of stuff is moving to streaming. So while we're talking about the upcoming game, there's a Super Bowl that's going to be going on, Lori. I know you can't wait. It's going to be between the Taylor Swift Chiefs, and it's going to be between the
I like that you said that.
so, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So anyway.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I'm going to use a lot of Taylor references.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh my
I'm
God.
going to sprinkle them in honor of Taylor Swift.
What?
And if the question is, damn, Brian, are you trying to troll the right-wing people that seem to think that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have some kind of nefarious plan to support Joe Biden? You damn right I am. So anyway, yeah, we'll get back to that in a second. But also, the biggest thing is going to be that the halftime performance will be performed by Usher. Usher. And
now, that's amazing how his name changed. He went from Usher to Usher.
Well,
kind of like, when
y'all know how y'all throw them little auras on stuff.
When Larry Fishburne turned into Lawrence Fishburne, or was it the opposite? Lawrence turned to Larry.
I think he was Larry.
He was Larry, then he was Lawrence.
Then when he wanted to start getting roles like on CSI and shit, he turned into Lawrence.
Yeah. I was just wondering, like, was I the only one that noticed stuff like that?
No. We saw it. Yeah.
Oprah don't even have a name no more. She just
Hey. How long did we see Janet Jackson videos till it was just Janet?
Well, I didn't mind though, sir.
Almost Jackson, if you name.
I am.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and change subject.
Shit. She can not only just rename herself, she can rename me. You don't really look like a Brian. You look more like a Tom. Damn it, I'm Tom. Now on, if you call me Brian, I won't even turn in response. Hey B, what's up? I don't know who they talking to.
Exactly.
My name Tom.
You stupid.
Shit. Let Janet come try to name me. Name me whatever you want.
Oh, so you don't know nobody no more.
You can name me Kunta. I don't even care. I ain't gonna say Toby. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna say Yasser. Yasser. Anyway, so Usher is gonna come out, and he's already promised to do a show of honoring the past, which is really, really cool. It'll be interesting to see what kind of show he's gonna do. A lot of people are going to tune in just for that. And you guys got to remember, the NFL doesn't even want people from halftime to the start of the third quarter to change that channel. So between the commercials that'll be sprinkled out during the whole game and then halftime, people are going to want to tune in and see what Usher's going to do. Rand and I were talking yesterday. There's actual proxy bets out there as to what's going to be the first song that he comes out with and what song is he going to end with. And I initially told Rand, I said, I think he's going to come out with Yeah first. Get him crunk.
I was thinking Yeah. I was thinking, yeah.
But he did get me and said, you know what? I think he's gonna come out with "You Remind Me" first if he's doing like a past, present thing, and he might end with "Yeah." So he kind of got me thinking on that, But I would expect both of those songs to be in there. I expected cameos to be in there as well.
He probably gonna throw confessions in there. Maybe not like the whole thing.
No.
The confessions definitely gonna have to be in there.
See, I think Usher's biggest issue is gonna be trying to figure out what he can't put in there because when you bring in a halftime person, because in the water cooler, because just hit a 10-year anniversary. Okay, Carrie, thank you. But we were talking on the show. Rand also has a Facebook page called The Water Cooler, and a lot of times some of the guys will get butt hurt a little bit because they'll be like, "Man, they don't ever want to bring Metallica and this group and that group," and we try to explain to these guys every single time. Look, y'all, this is a global event. It has to appeal to a wider spectrum. Metallica, hey, I'd love to go see hear Metallica play. I love live bands and music. But that's not going to appeal to a wider range of people. Plus, you got to get somebody that's got a catalog. And Usher been performing for almost 30 years. He got a catalog of number ones. He gonna have to figure out which ones he ain't gonna even have a chance to get through.
Right.
Every song this is not one of them performances where the audience is going, I don't think I ever remember that song. Oh, they gonna know every song,
every word.
Within the first 2 or 3 notes that play, everybody gonna know what it is. If they see Little John pop up, they already know. Okay, they already know. I think
tell your lovers and friends that John Luther had to do it again.
Out there, and oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. That was like that year where they had Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and it was just crazy. I was trying to tell my friends on Facebook, y'all need to tamper down. Don't be sitting there getting no miscellaneous injuries because you was trying to do stuff you ain't done in 20, 30 years. And I think that was going to happen. So Usher might do the same thing. All I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all to do, if you feel an inkling, move some of the living room furniture out of the way in advance so you don't end up kicking nothing, hitting nothing, breaking stuff, hurting stuff. That's just my public service announcement. Lori, how much dancing do you plan on doing during the halftime show?
Well, first off, you should have asked or told them initially to moving the furniture to stretch. Let's stretch first. Stretch.
Exactly.
Stretch.
Yeah.
So you can prevent injury.
I should have led with that. Yeah. Y'all need to stretch.
Need stretch. Stretch.
How much dancing you doing, Lori?
Oh, I'm always on the floor.
All right. That's my sister.
Oh yeah, because I put you there.
I actually talking about dancing. Today I was kind of I was in my Spotify on one of my playlists, and I think I was.
Oh, is that what that was? I thought, I thought some bears done moved in the house or something. Okay.
No.
That was you. That was you, right?
I was doing the A-Town stomp.
No, you wasn't.
Yeah, hey, look, you can't be doing that. You know we got crawl space. You need to do that when we got a foundation. Don't be doing that on top of no crawl space. I don't know what these hardwood floors really got going on. So,
you stupid.
My foot stuck.
And you're gonna have to get me out.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll get you out eventually, but if you don't think that that's going to be on YouTube and WorldStar in some form or fashion, you are out of your mind.
That's funny.
Oh, I already know I know you're going to exploit and advertise. I got you. Oh yeah.
JP, how much dancing you going to be doing Sunday?
First off, free Palestine.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Okay.
But I don't know, man. Let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
I know that you have predicted in the last couple Super Bowls the matchup and the winners and stuff. How about this year?
This year, I did get San Francisco right. As a matter of fact, when I look back at it, I got San Francisco and Kansas City, which was crazy because I expected both to get to the Super Bowl. Um, yeah, actually, I did call them both. That is funny. I called them both, but how Kansas City got there, I would not have expected. The way that they played all year long, I had
Yeah.
basically given up and said, "Man, I think my prediction is going to be off because the way they're playing, they can be got." I felt like I didn't expect the Ravens to do it from the AFC. I wasn't sure what the Buffalo Bills were going to be. I thought Miami was going to win that division because they looked like such a juggernaut at the beginning of the season. But I really thought that somebody from the AFC East or the AFC North was going to represent. Actually, you know what? I actually even thought that Cincinnati may have an opportunity to come back. I just didn't see Kansas City after the way they started. You know, they opened up to Detroit, lost to Detroit. I've been telling people for years that Detroit was going to start making some noise, and they were probably two bad fourth down calls away from actually making it.
Yeah,
Hello,
but
Mrs. T and TBS, joining me on my private feed on Instagram. How you
hey,
doing?
baby.
Yeah, hey baby. What's up, minion? So anyway, so it's been pretty good, Jermaine. You know, trying to evaluate the talent. I'm actually picking the 49ers to blow them out 34-17 this Sunday. At first I thought it was going to be a close game, but the more I thought about it, they can't match. She said, "Hey y'all, Catherine." Um, they can't match the firepower of San Francisco. And the only variable to whether it's going to be a close game or not, in my opinion, Jermaine, is whether Brock Purdy plays a good game. Whether the all of the media hype, because this has been media week, everything leading up to the Super Bowl, the the weight of the game and everything else isn't too much for him. But I've seen this kid for the most part of the year play with a lot of poise and composure. And I don't really expect the Super Bowl to stop. I just expect him to continue to do what he's done. And as long as he gets the ball in the hands of Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle, I, I I mean Patrick Mahomes has to depend on Travis Kelsey and then a bunch of other inconsistent receivers to help move the ball. And at the end of the day, I think they're going to end up trading touchdowns for field goals, and you can't win a game that way.
But who did you call to win? I know you.
Oh, the overall San
won.
Francisco. Overall San Francisco. It didn't matter who was coming out of the AFC. I felt like San Francisco was the most complete team. Not and you know the funny thing about San Francisco is people really talk about their offense like I just did, but make no mistake, they got a stout defense too. They got really stout defense. So they got some guys over there, Fred Turner, Joey Bosa. A lot of them guys can get after the quarterback and stuff like that. They may make Patrick Mahomes' life hell. It ain't gonna be like how the Eagles sat there and let Mahomes break containment and run down the middle of the field untouched and stuff like that. You are not going to do that against the 49ers. And Kyle Shanahan has had 2 weeks to plan for this game. He gonna throw everything but the kitchen sink it. I know Andy Reid does a good job of that too, but I just got a feeling that if anybody can do more with less, it's Patrick Mahomes. But I think that that's going to run out. I think the way that they started the season is the way they're going to end the season, and that's with an L. So, there you go. That's my breakdown of the Super Bowl. But we will see. We'll have our after Super Bowl show on Wednesday. We'll talk about all of that, what's heading into the offseason. You know, the NFL now, Lori, is basically 24/7. You know, the season, I mean, our show, we actually did 26 shows this season for Head to Head Sports. That's a full 6 months. But the other part of the off season, whether you're talking about training camp, OTAs, the NFL draft, whether you're talking about the new NFL season starting the second week of March, the legal tampering periods and players moving and things like that. All of that stuff is going to come up over the next couple of months to keep moving with that. And then, Lori, guess what? The Rock has a new league where the USL and the XFL have combined and merged, and now they have a new league that are going to be playing games as well. So football isn't really ending, Lori. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just got to make sure that by Sunday that you have some chicken.
Oh yeah, I had the wings. And let's not forget, even though the NFL is ending a month from now, almost, it'll be Selection Sunday. If you're a college basketball fan, that is a big day because you'll start to see all of the teams as they end their tournaments, then be selected to go to the tournament and start March Madness. Everybody gets their brackets going. I'll just go ahead and be a spoiler. If you don't pick the number 1 seed, North Carolina, then you probably won't win your bracket. Unless they're playing Georgia Tech or Clemson. And then seemed like they could get up to play Duke and beat the hell out of them and then lose to Clemson. Make that make sense. Anyway, I ain't gonna get on that. How y'all doing though? Y'all good? Everybody good? CJ, you good? I know last week CJ came in, just got hit, pissed. You good?
Spitting fire, my brother. But I'm feeling a little better this week.
Okay.
Got in contact with the adjuster. Thank God this particular driver is insured.
Oh yeah,
I thought Calvin beat you. I missed last week's episode. You said he got hit. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Put the disc away, brother.
He came in late and just got hit off with Sharon Amity, wasn't it?
Sharon Amity from one end to the other, from W.T. Harris on my way to Shamrock, right in my back. In 5 o'clock traffic, no less.
Yeah. Them people can't drive, man. Cannot drive.
Right hand lane.
They be in a hurry to go absolutely nowhere.
Nowhere.
No, I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Everybody saw the dogs. Everybody stopped. Everybody. Even the people that was going the opposite way of us, they even stopped because there was a group of dogs that ran out into the street, chasing each other, just having fun. We all stopped. As soon as I was about to take off, because one dog came really close to my car, and I had a pass. And right when I was about to hit the accelerator to go, to continue on, boom! And I'm like, you mother.
But you know where that comes from, though? Honestly, I still believe in my heart that person was looking down at their phone.
I know they were.
Or they were distracted. Something distracted them, or they just have bad reaction time. But I've seen, and I just say that because I drive around a lot, and I literally see people a lot.
A lot.
And I see, and it amazes me, even on Interstate 85, people going 65, 70 miles an hour will go by somebody and they are looking straight down in their lap. They don't have their phone mounted. They're looking down while they're driving.
Yep.
I don't know what the hell is in your lap. I don't even care if Janet Jackson was in my lap. Well, never mind.
There's a time for stuff like that.
I don't know if I would look down that long and risk getting hurt, because I wouldn't want to hurt her. So
it's not that important, man.
It ain't that important.
It's not that dang on important.
Yeah.
That's what I do know.
Yeah, and in all seriousness, guys, if y'all driving, if you got to look down at your phone, be at a stoplight or something like that. It'd be ridiculous to tell me don't ever look at your phone. Number one, it'd be hypocritical. Of course, I look at my phone, but my wheels ain't rolling.
Right.
Now, I'd rather be at a stoplight and somebody honk because I looked down too long and then I need to start rolling than actually be rolling and looking at my phone at the same time. That's just crazy. That's foolish.
Right.
Anything can happen within a split second, like dogs running out, which is funny because I wonder if it was a bunch of black folks running out, would they have stopped? But anyway, that's a whole nother question. Man, what's going on in the world? So y'all see that your boy Trump is tried to take a case to the New York to the DC Court of Appeals to claim absolute presidential immunity. Like, hey, it doesn't matter if I break the law. Yeah, I have immunity because I was a president. It doesn't matter if it was even in the scope of my responsibilities. So there was this hearing about a month ago where no texting and driving, says Mrs. TNTBS. She's absolutely right for once. But the DC Court of Appeals had to hear Donald Trump's lawyers basically trying to fumble and muddle themselves and twist themselves in knots to try to justify Trump being able to have absolute immunity. And it was crazy. Dwayne, it was crazy because Judge Florence Pan, one of the three appellate judges, asked Trump's lawyer, Sauer, so if Trump decided to have SEAL Team 6 take out a political opponent, are you saying that he has immunity? And Sauer was trying to say that, well, this made no sense. This is the pretzel. He has total immunity, and the only way he could be charged is if he was first impeached and convicted by the Senate. Impeached by the House, convicted by the Senate. Then he could be, then charges could be brought. But it also countered against the fact that he was arguing total immunity. And the other thing, Jermaine, that was really crazy about it was when he was being impeached, his lawyers argued that this was not the appropriate venue, that if he had broken the law, there was a justice system that was supposed to take care of that. Even Mitch McConnell, when he was giving his speech on the House floor, and he said Trump hadn't gotten away with anything yet. Because he kept referring to the fact that there's a political system, and as long as statute of limitations hadn't run out, there are other remedies, and he didn't feel like the Senate convicting him of that was the remedy. So they argued it when he was still president. Oh, the Senate isn't the right spot. It's the Justice Department. And then when he gets out, oh no, it's not the Justice Department. It's the House and the Senate. He tried, and they brought it up to the attorney. He was, and all he could really say to that was, "Well, I wasn't the attorney during that time." But yeah, but that was their defense, and a lot of the senators did not vote for conviction because a lot of them assumed that Trump would be convicted in the legal system, and that also gave them a way of not having to put their name on convicting the president, so that they, from a political standpoint, they didn't have to face the daggers from that. So they punted to the legal system basically, and then the legal system tries to hold him accountable. And it's like, oh no, if you wanted to convict him, y'all should have done that in the House. And now that because he was acquitted, if you try to bring it up now, somehow that's double jeopardy, because the Constitution says so, even though we can't find it in the Constitution. Y'all thoughts on that?
It's an interesting argument in the terms of, like, trying to breathe in the water is interesting. I mean, it just doesn't work. Because really what they argued is that Joe Biden could have him in prison or killed as a current sitting president and face and there was no remedy for Trump. Or he could have him removed from the ballots, and there's no remedy for Trump. He could
do a drone strike on Mar-a-Lago.
And there's no remedy for them because he's a sitting president, which is a really hard thing to argue when you're not in that position. So here's the big thing. Number one, all three judges unanimously struck it down and said it is hypocritical for the person that is supposed to be that sees that the laws are upheld is somehow above those laws that he's supposed to uphold.
Right.
The thing is that the Supreme Court. So there's two things. Well, Trump has been pressing the Supreme Court and that was part of the reason he wanted to sway it, because he is a criminal. You want to have judges on your side. You want to buy judges. And then, he kind of figures himself as a crime boss. The New York stuff that's going on, where he's probably going to lose all his businesses. He's been ordered to pay $83.3 million to Gene Carroll, and all these legal things. This is probably, in my opinion, the one that he's really, really hoping turns out his way, and DC didn't turn out his way, and so it's not even sure that the Supreme Court will actually even hear this case, because they don't hear everything simply because of who's involved and stuff. When it's obvious what the rulings are, they just won't hear stuff. This is his only. Make no mistake, the only reason he is running again and wants to be president because he finds immunity in the office. He does not want to go to jail, and he has committed crimes. In fact, his defense basically says we know he committed crimes. Otherwise, we wouldn't even offer it as a defense.
Right. Most of his lawyers did admit that the whole immunity was pretty weak sauce, but it's meant to delay. It's a delay.
Yes. Yeah. And but I think, and this is my new prediction for 2024. Number one, even if this case was to go to the Supreme Court, the only thing that the best case scenario for him is that they don't make a decision on it until after the election. Yeah, that's the best case. Unfortunately, because of the way the judiciary cycle works and stuff, if they take the case up, they'll have a decision before then. Yeah. But of all the cases that are pending against him, classified documents, all 91 counts of criminality he faces and stuff, this is the most important decision, because this is the one that says whether he's going to stay in America or he's going to flee. Because make no mistake, Donald Trump is a coward, and he will leave the country, and he and Snowden will be roommates in Russia.
It's a good point that you bring up, and I think that the Supreme Court is going to punt this for a couple of reasons. Number one, they just had to hear oral arguments today as to whether Trump can remain on the ballot in Colorado and Maine, and thus potentially remain on ballots across the country if other secretaries of states decide to remove him from the ballot because they feel like he violated the 14th Amendment about leading an insurrection or giving comfort and aid to the saints. And the way that they question the attorneys today, it sounds like they're going to try to use an off-ramp to keep Trump on the ballot, where they're basically going to argue the fact that they're not going to determine whether he was an insurrectionist. What they're going to try to more or less determine is, do states have jurisdiction to remove him, or is there a enforcement mechanism that has to be provided, such as, and I've kind of said that was what made this weak, was who gets to determine if he incited insurrection? Yes, with our own eyes, we can say we perceive this to be an insurrection, and we know that he told them to come January 6th. We'll be wild. We know he told them we're going to go down to the Capitol and we're going to fight like hell, because if you don't fight like hell, you won't have a country anymore. We all know those things, but those things, in my opinion, still have to be litigated, and he has to be found guilty of being an insurrectionist. You can't just sit there and say, hey, we saw him do all of these things. There still has to be a due process. Even though he is guilty as hell, he is entitled to due process. There was no due process other than local municipalities decided for themselves, yeah, he's guilty.
I absolutely agree with you. And that was the reason I said that the DC case was the more important case. I think the Supreme Court will rule in Trump's favor because he has not been convicted or charged, or you know what I mean, as insurrectionist and stuff. Even though he was impeached, that's not really a legal standing. No, it's a political. So I think he makes it back on the ballot in Colorado. But I think my point is that I think the Supreme Court And when they don't hear it, they basically uphold the
That is
judgment
correct.
of the lower court. And so I don't think they're going to hear the DC case because there's nothing there for them to argue. It was a stupid thing to argue in the first place, and it's a waste of their time.
Yep.
And it puts them politically.
Yep. Yeah. No. You're going there. Go ahead.
Yeah, it puts them politically in a place that they don't need to be.
Exactly.
And so but again, once that immunity thing, which is the biggest thing for Trump, losing all his money, because let's be real, Trump's like most billionaires in this country, his wealth is subsidized by other people. That's why he gets donations from everywhere else and stuff. So his legal fees, the money's paying out and stuff, what he'll pay to New York, what he's supposed to pay to Carol and stuff. That's not going to destroy Trump, especially at 77 years old.
Yeah.
What will destroy him is a couple years in prison. And that's why I say Trump, who has never been held accountable, will not stand. Like as soon as the DC verdict came out, they should have took his passport. They should have put him on. You know, he should be on some kind of monitor because he's a flight risk. And anybody who does
go to Russia, like you said, where we have no extradition.
When all of this first came out, and all of of us was talking about, like, we had projections of how they was going to hold Trump accountable for all of his crap that he got caught in. One of the first things that we said was that nobody on this panel thought that he was actually going to serve time, just simply because of his base and what they stand for and the way that the political system is set up. But at minimum, yes, we all agree that his passport should have been taken. And if anything, he would probably be put on like house arrest or something like that, because of the way that the right wing just love to just come together, even when it comes to some atrocious individual like how he is. I mean, this guy has did everything under the sun. Had this man been anybody else, and you know, like before I would say, you know, had he been like someone like us, like our color, you know, had it been Obama, blah blah blah. But now I'm thinking, no, this is not even a color thing anymore. Not to me. This is a pure power thing, a pure money thing. If he didn't pull the money and stuff like he does, you know, from his base and everything, this guy would have been removed. Even as right wing as these politicians are, they would have separated themselves. I mean, look at how long it took for the caucus itself to dwindle all the way down to like Nikki Haley, you know, and they were still jockeying. And to this day, well, yeah, according to what I noticed, they still pretty much jockeying for second place. Now, Nikki is saying one thing, but she basically trying to position herself very carefully, just in case if she gets wiped out, you know.
Well, I think Nikki Haley, who let's not forget is second to none, and she came in second in a ballot in Nevada, where the winning choice was none of these candidates. So she's literally, she's literally second to none. The only reason Nikki's still in the campaign is because I think they think that Trump might get disqualified and they need to have a candidate.
She's a safety net. She's definitely a safety net.
Yeah.
She's playing big, which is funny to me.
See again, Jay, that's a checker move instead of a chess move. You know, like I'm really wanting to put all my chips over here.
Well,
but,
a lot of them went into the whole race thinking that the justice system was probably going to end him, and then they would kind of be there to pick up the pieces. He's just been able to outlast them because he grifts off of his fan base so much, where they keep
deny, deflect.
I mean,
And-
he
yeah.
spent $55 million in legal fees last year to lawyers, and most of those funds were raised by small donors, donations.
Yeah.
From people just kicking in a couple bucks here, a couple of bucks there. He grifted these people where these funds were really supposed to be used for campaign finance. He's used them to finance his defense. He's not. Now, here's my prediction. I'm gonna alter it a little bit, CJ. I did say I didn't think Trump would probably end up spending any time in jail. I don't think that anymore. I think that the Tanya Chutkan case, which Jermaine is referring to, is one that he can get convicted and go to jail. And I don't think, and Tanya Chutkan will have this power to say whether you have house arrest or whether you're going to have to go to some work prison in Pensacola, a couple of hours away from Mar-a-Lago, which I think she's going to do. Another thing is that I think that this year Trump is really pushing all of his chips into the middle of the table by trying to throw this Hail Mary that if I can just get back to 1600 Pennsylvania, I can make 2 of these cases go away instantly. And the other ones, if I can make them delay till I'm in office, they can't even prosecute me until I get out of office.
Until my 4 years is over.
We already know that this man already says he's gonna be a dictator on day one. Just for a day. Just for a day.
Just for a day.
Listen, how many and David Schuster did a great job a couple of weeks ago asking people, would you rather have Donald Trump as a dictator for 4 years or Joe Biden as a president for 4 years? And these idiots said dictator the entire time. Some of them said, no, maybe that's what we need. We need a little bit of that. They have fallen in love with a strong man, and a lot of them would support him blowing through the Constitution, because if he has immunity, he don't have to leave. Who gonna make it? This time, he's going to put people in all of these positions that would have challenged that, and these are going to be the ones like a Tim Scott. Well, I just love you.
The coconut.
Oh,
He's the ultimate coconut.
I just love you, because he said you must really hate Nikki Haley, and he said, no, I just love you.
Whatever happened to that white woman that Tim Scott had that he drug up?
So
you already know what happened, Jay.
Aren't they engaged?
You brought that up.
Aren't they engaged?
Hey, they got engaged. Apparently,
they're engaged.
But
and what else have we seen her? Do we know anything about it? Like she just
proposed on the beach.
I only asked
on the beach.
The first white woman that gave him a solid Nikki Haley, he turned on her. So I was like, well, he didn't need to mention the other one. So
dang.
It's funny you call Nikki Haley
that
white.
was a photo op. That's all that was.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I call you what you identify as and what you act like and stuff. I happen to know people who are mixed race or whatever and stuff, and in their politics and stuff are white. Well, you white to me. That's how you identify. That's how you move.
He's all the way Caucasian.
That's how you move. That's like Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce got a fade. That's not Travis. He got a fade. That's how he moves. That's how he moves.
Speaking of that, did you hear my commentary yesterday about that, where people, literally white folks, think that you can go to the barbershop now and say, yeah, let me get that Travis Kelce.
Look, Travis Kelce. They asked Travis about that, right? And he pushed back and he was like, I don't know why y'all would do that in February. Throw me to the wolves like that.
Right.
Black History Month, and you trying to take the fame away from us?
Well, no. Travis said, I don't know why y'all would do that to me.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Why would y'all try to do that to me?
Like you couldn't wait until like March or nothing. No,
y'all could have brought this up. Y'all could have brought that up in October.
Let me get that Travis Kelce one on the top.
Hold on, not my birthday month, bro.
Travis understands, and he's like, look, it's called a fade. I can tell you what I get number 2 here, but I'm telling you, I didn't invent it. I asked for it. That was his thing and stuff. But he did say, why y'all would bring that controversy to my doorstep in February.
Keep that moving, bro. Keep
that moving. What are y'all trying to do to me?
Right, for real. Because hey, there's a lot of brothers in that locker room with fades.
Yeah.
Don't y'all be bringing that in here.
Yeah.
Kick that to the curb quick.
Travis Kelce said, "I am not the poster boy for gentrification and for cultural appropriation.
Oh,
Please
my
take
God.
that bullshit somewhere
Let
else."
me get the Travis Kelce. I about died. I said, Lord, there they go trying to take something else. Lord have mercy.
Yeah. I love how he shot it down, bro.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
a
he
good
did.
Yeah.
He did quickly, though. He did. I'll give him
Yeah.
credit.
He didn't waste no time, boy.
Nah. He understood.
Yeah, he understood. But the same people trying to revise history was trying to call it the Travis Kelce. And I was just like, oh, hell. Oh, we putting our foot down on this one. Ain't no way. Damn, man.
It's funny. Like, say, I spot you how you identify and how you move and stuff, and that's how Travis moves. He moves in the community. Travis knows about Black Twitter because he dated a Black woman, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of the big things for a long time. He had a fine sister too.
Yeah.
Fine sister, and there's some people like she. A lot of people say that she was finer than Taylor Swift. I said, but she ain't got that money. Travis, do your thing, boy.
Keller being a billionaire.
Like they say, bro. Listen.
Yeah.
As big as small.
His I can't remember her name. She is fine. And if she's looking to rebound and downgrade herself, please call me. But absolutely. But it's how you move, right? And that's the whole thing about this Republican Party and stuff and their support for Trump and stuff. A lot of people, it used to be funny because when we were growing up, there were a lot of people as we were teaching civil rights and stuff like that. And I used to hear a lot of people and said, I would never own slaves and I would never support that system and I would never do this and that stuff. But I watched the way that y'all move and how y'all go after Trump and stuff. And I go, oh, you would absolutely own slaves today. If it was legal, you guys would absolutely own slaves today. I see the way that you talk about immigrants and migrants and the border and razor wire and walls.
And the Civil War not having anything to do with slavery, but
because like today, when somebody tells you a Christian, you need to ask them, are you classic Christian or are you GOP Christian?
Yeah.
Which version?
I'm so glad you brought that up, bro. Because me and a really good friend had a very similar conversation about that. Now you really do gotta ask people what brand?
What brand of Christian? What flavor?
Well, like I eat ice cream, but like, what's your favorite flavor?
Well, you do because even when polls are being done, and they always go harking back to the evangelical Christian, what they really mean are white people. They're not talking about Black evangelicals.
Exactly.
But when they say that in a poll, they don't clarify that. But we've come to know that when they are mentioning the evangelical vote that supports Trump, they talking about white folks.
Yeah. You know what? Are there no more televangelists out there?
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Oh yeah.
Well, I only wonder because the same people that when you look at Trump's base, it's the same people who would send their last $50 to the televangelists that support him, giving him money and stuff.
That's your base.
The same people that were swindling grandma, the same people that were getting swindled, are getting swindled by Trump. It's the same thing.
And that's where you get that little group of blacks for Trump. That's who they are. You're describing them now.
Yeah. But they try to lump in the evangelicals all as one block, and it isn't, and it never has been.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's why like my mouth.
I'll tell you this. I understand.
Like,
oh, you froze up there.
He got froze.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Frozen now.
Yep. Sorry
freeze tag.
My internet, excuse me. But I understand, like, even the groups like Blacks for Trumps and stuff, because there are a lot of Black people who say, hey, look, and again, identify how you move and stuff. What as a Democrat is really done for Black people? And to you, I would say nothing. And I'll tell you right now, like, I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden this year. Because I saw how the Harris-Biden administration or the Biden-Harris administration, if you can find her.
He been froze out for real. I think the truck's outside. It's all right. The truck's outside.
Circling.
Truck's outside is Black.
It's circling.
What I was trying to say is that I understand how people don't want to identify for Trump, because they think rogue factor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Oh,
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Well, while we have this, we have this break. I want to go into the next topic. Before we do, I do want to hit 2 back-to-back commercials real quick, so y'all check it out real quick. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions that you'll make. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help you navigate through that process. We know that a home is more than just a place to live. It creates memories. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help. Give us a call and let us get started on your journey. Y'all also check out, if you're going to be in the Concord area this weekend, at the USVI Wine Company on 167 Union Street. The Life of the Muse is going to be having a vending event where she will be doing her press on nails. So y'all check that out as well. Also, I did say there were only 2, but I'll throw this one in as well. We will be at a Black Heritage Festival coming up this Saturday at the Cabarrus Events Center on Highway 49 in Concord. They'll also be having a fashion show going on at the time, as well as a dance showcase. The whole thing lasts from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Come out and support if you can. We appreciate it. And Jermaine Parker Realty, as well as Bill Parker Property Management, will be in the house. So we should be out there from that time as well. So check us out this weekend, whether it's that event or at the USVI.
Little known fact: all the kids in that commercial are mine. Daddy loves you.
Absolutely. That's why we didn't have to pay. That's why we didn't have to pay for them, because they were related. Yeah, they're always good. So
I don't know which one was between you and Country Wayne, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, Country Wayne got a lot of kids too, probably.
11.
I'm trying to catch up.
Please don't.
I'm halfway there.
That's a lot of skits you got to do to have 11 kids. That's a lot of skits. But so switching gears a little bit, because we'll have plenty of this season to talk about Trump and his issues, because they're going to be ongoing all year long. But like I said, if he doesn't win if he doesn't win the presidency, they're coming for him. He's going to go to jail because of that. Because yeah, you delayed it, but now you're delaying it and you don't have a backup plan. So like Jermaine said, if dude loses the election, he is getting on that plane and he is gone.
What's up, dude?
Because this is what else is going to happen. There are only 4 cases now. If he don't win, it's going to be some more to pop up. They coming for him. They're going to come for him if he doesn't win. But anyway,
I think if you see the Supreme Court doesn't take up the immunity case, which will open them up to more frivolous litigation.
Yeah,
it opens up to more frivolous litigation. I
was just thinking about one of his crybaby comments that he would say that he's being witch hunted. But I guess I would think that somebody is witch hunting me. You like just coming after me. It seems like for no reason. If I never was held accountable for anything.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing you have to understand is that Trump likes to project, and this is a man who has personally used the legal system to harass and defamate people. So if anybody was to use it against him, why wouldn't he believe that they're using it the same way that he uses it?
Right.
Exactly.
That's how he looks at things. That's why, and I know I'm jumping to the next topic, but that's why he is so adamant about this immunity. Because he's like, man, you got to have immunity, because if you don't, then any president that does stuff while he's in office, when he gets out of office, he can be immediately indicted. That's why they got to have it. And I'm sitting there going, well, fool, there were 44 dudes before you that wasn't an issue. The only time it became an issue was with your ass. So
thank him.
yeah, he's sitting there protecting like, if we get rid of this, it's going to create problems. No, it's not. It hadn't been a problem until you tried it.
Yeah.
That's why you were 45. That means there were 44 other dudes. Damn. Anyway, what's us there?
What's next? What's next, my brother?
Okay. So, yeah, I remember when I first started out working years and years ago, and I worked for Marriott International. One of the things that they did during my orientation is they put me through what was called at the time diversity training. And I didn't know what it was, but diversity training was really, when I got into it, it was really about, hey, you're going to be working around people that maybe you've never seen people like this before. Hey, people are going to come and share different experiences, and they come from all walks of life. And diversity is about accepting people's differences and being able to work with them in collaboration. And it was really neat. And we always did diversity training. So even when I moved on from Marriott, went from this job to that job, for the longest, we always had some type of diversity training. And then some companies, as it progressed years later, they may even have annual refresher courses on diversity. Diversity over time has now branched out into more things called diversity, equity, inclusion. My company added a B to it called belonging, because we really wanted to make sure that people felt like, hey, we want to make sure that we have a diverse workforce. Everybody's treated the same. We are involving everyone in, so it doesn't feel like you're being isolated, and that you have a sense of belonging. This is not just a place to work, but it's a place where you feel like you're among a work family. So we added the belonging into it because we want everybody to feel like, hey, this is a place for you, and you don't have to be a certain kind of way. We will take you for who you are, because your differences add something meaningful to us. It's the same kind of people that talk about immigration and stuff like that, not realizing that we're a country of immigrants. We're a better country because of immigration, not because of it, but that's the inclusion part of that. Now, y'all, for some reason or another, wanting people to be treated equally, wanted them to be included, is now some sense of wokeness. The hell is this coming from? So I'm going to show y'all this video so you can get what I mean. I don't know if you've seen this, and if you haven't seen it, it could piss you off. Because now a lot of companies are realizing that they need to be more diverse. And one of the biggest industries that were looking for diversity were the airline industries, recruiting more pilots of color, more female pilots, and folks like that. And if you guys have ever heard of Charlie Kirk, has a lot of followers, employs another Tim Scott named Candace Owens. Jigaboo. And and anyway, but Charlie made a stupid comment on one of his shows called Thought Something. I can't think of the name of it, but it'll pop up. And he says something stupid. I'm gonna let him say it. I ain't gonna say it. And Candace Owens starts out her clip basically defending him, saying, "Oh no, I've been saying this, and he's right." So, do y'all want to hear what she thinks he was right about? Want to hear? Here you go.
Of Turning Point USA has come under a lot of fire. He's been trending for about 4 days over a remark that he made, which people are calling racist. Charlie Kirk has a show that is called Thought Crime, and they were talking about DEI policies, the idea that we should just be hiring people on the basis of them being Black, on the basis of them being a female. And particularly, he was discussing this as it pertains to pilots in the air. Take a listen to what Charlie Kirk said and why he's catching some heat.
And that's why I think this United story and the DEI story hits so hard, because we've all been in the back of a plane when the turbulence hits, or when you're flying through a storm and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit before we took off. And I feel better now. Thinking
No, I mean,
about
like,
that.
you want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well,
that's the
you
game
wouldn't have
theory
done
I was
that.
talking
You
about
wouldn't have. You
No,
wouldn't
and
have done
that's
that
not,
before.
That's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't
That's
have done
not
that
who I
before.
am. That's
No.
not what I believe.
It is the reality the left has
But
created.
So you can see why the left loved that clip and why they're now calling Charlie Kirk, who I worked for and with for years, an avowed racist. He says that that's going to be his first thought if he sees a black pilot. And you know what? I said the exact same thing on this show just a couple of weeks ago. I remarked that now when I even am watching a commercial, if I see a commercial and I see a black person and a Hispanic person and an Asian person, my thought process is, did they just get this because DEI? I no longer think the person is qualified. Way back when, just a few short years ago, when I used to watch movies and I used to see a black character, I always just thought it's because he's a great actor. Denzel Washington, one of the greatest actors of our time. Like, he's amazing, obviously. But now my experience has changed because I recognize that we no longer live in a meritocracy. And I'm thinking they hired that person because they had to fulfill the quota. Oh, we must have at least X amount of black people. And I don't think that they deserve to be in those spaces anymore. And it makes me upset that that's my thought process when I see a commercial and when I see a movie. Is this person actually even a good actor, or are they just checking a box? But unfortunately, that is the reality of what happens when it comes to DEI. And what he is remarking on is true. I would be terrified if I got onto a plane and I saw a woman flying the plane. And I know that we have the United CEO saying that he just wants to fulfill a quota. He just wants there to be more women and wants there to be more black people. And he's not concerned at first with qualifications. That is something that should alarm all of us, guys, honestly. This is what Charlie Kirk had to say in his defense on Twitter. He said, I made a logical statement. In 2023, 19% of United's pilot corps was minority or female, which was already the highest among any airline. United CEO Steve Kirby, that's the one that we showed you that was dancing in trans gear or cross-dressing, whatever you want to call it, bragged that the airline would mandate that their next pilot class would be 50% female and minority. A few questions. 1, are there enough candidates to fill the 50% quota? 2, why are 81% of United's pilots white men currently? Is it because they happen to be the best pilots? Should we just assume it's because woke United is secretly super racist? Or is it possible that white men simply tend to be more interested in flying than other groups? 3, if white men land the planes safely, what is the problem? 4, if hiring is based on merit, why aren't there more minority female pilots? He goes on in the tweet, but essentially what he is doing is he is doubling down, and he should. These are important questions to ask. I agree with my colleague, Matt Walsh, that in the future, there is going to be a horrific accident on a plane, and it is going to be because this is what is happening on the corporate level. They no longer are concerned with safety. They just want to make sure that it looks black enough, that it looks like there are enough females, that it looks woke enough, and that should terrify all of us.
That was so stupid. I can't even get mad behind it. I mean,
how did she get her job? Because when I look at her, I think to myself, is she qualified?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's
and
just
the answer to that question is, for that racist answer reply, she is overly qualified.
Oh wow.
And
Damn!
Good. That's very well played.
Well, it is. So look, all this stuff, is Charlie Kirk a racist? Yes, he is, and he has been. This is not the first time he's been called a racist, because he says, again, I judge people on the way they move. He moves like a racist all the time.
Exactly.
This is the fact that somebody would brand new be calling him a racist is only because they never heard him speak before.
Exactly. But then this is part of the consensus.
And another thing, she tried to legitimize what he said, or basically just saying, and I agree, as if like it gives it more validity or something. A coconut that's backing up a racist.
We see
that combination all the time.
That's their whole purpose, is to sit there and say what they want to say, but thinks that when it comes from somebody that looks like the people that she's offending, it comes out better. Now, the problem is, y'all, is that the premise is wrong. She's branding DEI as almost quasi affirmative action adjacent.
That's what I was thinking in the back of my head.
Trying
Thank
to
you.
reclassify DEI as affirmative action. DEI is about accepting all people, not just Black people, not just women, not just people that are disabled, not just people of the LGBTQ community, all people. When a company says, hey, we want to get our company to look more like America, we want to do that. That's not affirmative action, because this was always the problem with affirmative action. They thought affirmative action took out qualifications and just basically turned it into a quota. And it had nothing to do with that. It was always about merit. But the problem is that for some reason, white folks will always seem to have more merit. White folks will be more skilled and capable. White folks were able to, like when the guy said, when I saw the guy with the right stuff, the hell is the right stuff in the square jaw? He was a man.
That's called stereotyping, sir. And the only thing they did was just solidify how deeply indoctrinated they are in believing stereotypes. That's the only thing that they did.
Here's the thing: a lot of these arguments are made in bad faith,
basically.
And so let me just touch. So affirmative action was implemented because a Black man with a bachelor's degree was losing jobs to a white man with a high school degree.
Yes,
high school diploma. Affirmative action basically said, hey, if this person is this minority is more qualified than this white person, they should get the job. That's all it said. It didn't say if they both have the same qualifications, the Black person should get the job. It said if they were more qualified, why are they not getting hired and stuff? When we talk about DEI, and especially, and it's such a stupid thing, we talk about the airlines and pilots and stuff because of the specialized training that everyone has to go through. There's not a hood class for flying. They don't actually have a soul plane academy
or cliff notes for flying.
Yeah.
I saw
no flights for dummies.
No, there's not a flight academy out there with niggas with wings.
Exactly. Spirit might be.
There is a good barbecue joint named that, but there's not a flight academy.
Now it has been my naval experience. Because when I first joined the Navy, I joined as what we classify as alphabet. So my alphabet was AZ, which means Aviation Maintenance Administration. That was a long title to say that I made sure that everything that left my flight deck was capable of flying, and all the maintenance was done on these aircraft. All of that, I said all that to say this. When I would correspond with the pilots, speaking about, I'm responding to the whole right stuff look. When I would go to these briefings, you did have stereotypical white guys, more so shown with fixed wing aircraft. But on the opposite end, you had a little more diversity of people with a darker hue that were flying prop. Now, but they all qualify for whatever aircraft that they are flying for, like how my brother is saying. So it's that you still got to go through stringent training. You still got to go to certain particular schools. I know Fallon is for fixed wing. I forget the school for prop, but yeah, you just go up and jump in an airplane and fly like that. And especially when you're talking commercial, most of these people are military trained and everything. So, like I said, they just don't see the camera, which, and again, when something is not in front of the camera, media gets a hold of it and they start, and you can't help but get hypnotized into starting to actually believe or start to have a perception as to what you're looking at. And that's why we have a thing called stereotype.
Right.
And that's what happens. And just like how we're only 13% of America's population, but yet and still, according to America's eyeballs, we are all criminals. You know, ain't none of us got a lick of sense. You know, we're all on the system. We all on food stamps and everything else. How many people in this square own the system?
Like a booming system?
I mean, other than Lori, I think none of us.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Go ahead, sir.
Well, so here's the thing. It's not just aviation. So I spent 26 years in aviation and the Air Force and stuff. And so if you want to get into the pilot, why it's like that, it's the same reason that golf, tennis, all these other sports and stuff, whether it be lacrosse, even swimming, it's not that black people can't swim. And I can go back to it's racism because remember when Jim Crow stuff was overturned, there were a lot of white communities who instead of unsegregating their swimming stuff, chose to fill in pools, and that's why inner city stuff. A lot of black people don't have access unless they live near water. That white people just couldn't dam up and take away from them. But if it was the pools, they put cement in the pools so they didn't have to share the space with them and stuff. And that's why racism, why a lot of black people can't swim, not because black people naturally can't swim, it's because the opportunity was taken away. And that's where when we talk about pilots and stuff, one of the things he said in there is it that they have more interest? It's they have more access. And that is the whole reason. Like when Nikki Haley said, I missed your show a couple weeks ago when Nikki Haley was talking about America isn't racist and stuff. It's absolutely, if anybody's watched me on this show, every show, I somehow bring up how racism is involved in whatever topic that we're talking about. And this is another example that, like I say, it doesn't have to be aviation, but let's look at aviation. If you want to be a private pilot, it costs between $8,000 and $10,000 of disposable income to go get your private pilot's license. If you want to go all the way to being a certified flight instructor too, it can cost you always from $90,000 to $100,000 income and stuff. It is access and what these programs are designed to do. Because I spent this time. I know black pilots, and I've heard their stories about how they had to get into aviation stuff. I have a buddy of mine who runs an aviation camp geared towards minorities to get them access. Not interest, but access to resources. Where he's teamed with local companies like Bank of America and Lowe's and stuff who've donated money so these guys can get flight time and they can do simulators for kids and stuff and get them that access and stuff. In fact, Charlotte McBurst, I'll break it. Shoot, not enough people watch this for it to be a big deal, but he's working with Charlotte McBurst schools to make sure that they have a program for the school system, not just minorities, but for the school system that if and not every school would have it, but so like a magnet program where there's an aviation elective for them when kids leave high school, they can leave with a private pilot's license.
Wow.
And so it still hasn't been worked all the way out, but those are some of but that's access. And a lot of things are about access and stuff. It's not that black people don't want to play golf. Is that paying for a $400 to $500 set of clubs and then being able to go out there, if it's a driving range or going out there to the course and having to pay that fee
or a membership
to get some play is access. Why do we play basketball? Because you
ain't charged us to have to go out to
froze them up.
Yeah. We play all of those because it's very inexpensive. You get a pair of sneakers, you get a basketball, you go to the park and you play ball. A lot of the other things are very exclusionary, and he's right about that. And I like the fact that Ty Harris joined in. Thank you, Ty, for that, saying that he just joined into that, struggled to stick around for it. Pilot training is the same for everyone. Opening access to all of society does not reduce training standards at all, which is exactly what Jermaine was saying, is that it's not about trying to take somebody that, this whole thing of they're taking our jobs from us. They're putting them in positions, not because they were the more qualified candidate, because they're trying to check off certain boxes. I'm sorry, the boxes that always used to be checked off before anything was white man. That was it. Those were the two
That's it.
boxes. Now we add in more boxes to say, well, hold on. We've got some black candidates that are just as qualified as some of these white candidates. So we need to make sure that we are being diverse in that. These are the same people that are trying to go into colleges and universities and try to say that there should not be any types of affirmative action to make sure that people that have been disadvantaged in the past are receiving the same types of opportunities now. And now they're trying to co-opt the term DEI into affirmative action and make it into affirmative action. Nobody is saying that before somebody gets behind the wheel of an airplane, that the pecking order of importance is, do they check off a certain box versus are they qualified to be back there? The mere fact that a woman, a grown ass woman, would say seeing another woman pilot a plane would scare her. You ain't worth the thing that you sitting on.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
you gotta understand, because she's not qualified. So
Right.
why would you think that the other people qualified? And remember, it's about historical bias, right? If you can say to yourself, I've seen black kids in a luxury vehicle, Mercedes or BMW, young black kids, and thought to myself that they were gangbangers and drug dealers. But when I saw young white kids in the same vehicle and stuff, I thought that they were rich white kids and stuff. And if you can't understand the bias that you just present, just that little example, or if the difference between a black man walking on a corner or a white man in the same doing the same activities would bring suspicion and stuff like that. If you can't see that, then you're part of the problem, and not in an unsolvable way. You're part of the problem that this country, because of its racist history, has conditioned you to
Yes.
see things that way. It was purposely done where white was right in terms of like cowboy movies and stuff. The good guys wore white, the bad guys wore black. That was not just something that was something that was just happened upon. It was not a subtle thing. It was planned and targeted conditioning and racism and stuff. And the whole idea that one of the things that Charlie said in his tweet was like, if they've been landing them safe, then what's the problem? Well, I would argue that I would argue that all the major mishaps have happened under the hands and supervision of white men.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hey,
Plane crashes.
we're gonna do it. Let's do it.
They've been white, yeah.
Yeah, and you know how I know? Because if it had been a black dude, his picture would have been out there.
Bro, they would have led. They would have led with that. They would have led with that.
Look, the evening news would have been like, they found chicken grease on the yolk.
I knew you were going to say that. I just wanted to say it.
I saw a watermelon rind.
There's watermelon seeds got into the instruments. He spilled Kool-Aid over the controls.
Yeah. It would have been all
It had red Kool-Aid. Red.
Yes, it's a red drink.
They found him in the street with some Kool-Aid and an EBT card.
Yeah. Yeah. What airlines and a lot of companies are doing, are they saying that we are acknowledging a historical bias?
Yeah, that's and that's what I said. The only thing I heard was them just testifying to how much they have bought into their own admission of being hypnotized by negative stereotypes. That's all I heard. That's all I heard.
I'll end it with this because we got to wrap up. But it's kind of funny. These are the same people that when immigrants come to this country, the first thing they say is, you need to learn our language, you need to assimilate, you need to do this. When we're talking about being more inclusive of people and we're talking about assimilating and making sure that everybody gets a fair shot at everything, now they don't want to assimilate, they want to keep things the way that they are. It's kind of funny how that works. Let's go ahead, Jay.
Real quick on that.
Real quick.
The white truck is coming. The white truck is circling.
Well, they getting in today.
Boy,
Yeah, they mad at you.
I tell you, real quick, it only applies to non-European countries because if you're Irish, if you're English, it's all right to talk about my family crest and I'm Scottish and this and stuff like that.
Right.
It's only when you're from brown countries that you have to be American and you you have to melt into the pot. But if you're from Europe and stuff, it's okay to be traditional and have heritage and pride in where you come from and stuff.
Yeah, they got him. Just like
Dang, they got him again.
he must say something about Jewish and Palestinians.
Pre-Palestine.
Pre-Palestine.
Pre-Palestine. And we got 1 good minute for what I don't like. Lori, what don't you like?
Candace Owens. Why do we give her airtime? And I'm going to sit here and say this very quickly as a Black woman. Whoever is doing her makeup, and I know she tries to be on the whiter side, she looks horrible and ashy. She needs to stop. If you want to sit here and talk about Black people, get some proper foundation because you just look stupid.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Yes, sir. Well,
Damn!
Yes, sir.
All right, CJ, what don't you like?
Coconuts.
Oh, God. You don't like coconuts. Okay.
I hate coconuts.
Jermaine, what don't you like?
The white.
Don't tell me they froze him.
Frozen. What don't you like?
The white van.
My internet connection.
That black van outside.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, listen.
I'm switching over next week.
All right. Well, listen. Normally, I would tell y'all what I don't like, but I'm going to change it up this week and this week only. What I do like is the fact that Lori has been a great sport over the last, how many years we've been together, Lori?
It's going to be 7 years.
7 years tomorrow. So what I do like is the fact that she's been crazy enough to stick it out with me these last 7 years. And anybody that knows, we've known each other since we were like 12, 13 years old anyway. So kind of like CJ and Catherine, they go way back, like my receding hairline does. And well, more so like LeBron's. But either way, I like the fact that Lori is stuck around. She's always helping me with getting the show up and running, that she runs the chyrons, that she runs the opening and the closing and everything else. So, Lori, love you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. I love you too.
Oh, now this is not crying time. That's when I pull him out. But anyway, so we are going to end it for the week. I'd like to thank my panel, Lori Parker, Mr. TNTBS CJ Jones, and the one, the only, the franchise, Mr. Jermaine Parker. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all have a great Super Bowl Sunday. Get them hoagies, get them wangs, get them nachos going, get them Coronas, and make sure you get the limes. Ladies, understand Coronas, you need a bottle opener, so don't forget the bottle opener too. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all take care. Peace.
This a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta